I suspect foul play with my condo today. So here's the story. Woke up early, hit the gym, felt great, confident, I'm on top of it. I'm a mature, responsible adult. Come back, power's off, water's turned off, emergency case, power's back on, water's still off. So John unfortunately has to deal with the scent of Greg post-gym many hours later. Hasn't gotten any better.
It's a musk.
We're gonna watch the honest trailer for Knives Out. I'm excited to watch this. Knives Out was, in my opinion, the most clever, witty script of last year. I do think Parasite deserved it, but this was like the most fun.
Oh yeah.
We never reviewed it, so
I know.
maybe we'll use some jumping off points from honest trailers to talk about it. Subscribe to Screen Junkies if you haven't done so already.
The following trailer is rated S for spoilers. It's a whodunit, and we're gonna tell you who did it, okay? So one last time, spoilers.
Pew poo pies.
From the director who ruined your man childhood comes a film about how if you act like an entitled kid, women and minorities will take away everything you ever loved. No, not that one. The new one. And mute thread. Knives Out. Get ready for a brand new whodunit murder mystery.
Minorities.
But since Rijo never met an expectation he couldn't subvert, he'll tell you whodunit right off the bat.
Oh my god.
Plus where it got did. And how it get done. Then slowly reveal who helped done it, who done knew about it, and why it all got getting done in the first place.
That's why I loved it.
How done they get away with it, really?
Whatever you gotta do, just get her done.
Meet the Thrombies, heirs to the world's most sumptuous sweater collection.
Right.
And a mansion that looks like an Applebee's themed escape room. Their patriarch is Christopher Plummer, the best actor to ever get typecast as the wealthy head of his rich family. When his suicide is ruled a murder, everyone is a suspect because he spent the night giving his entire family reasons to kill him.
This is the last from you, Daddy. All of his clean house. Not a red dime or word of my work to a single one of them. You included.
I mean, come on, man. Don't you know cutting off your relatives is the #2 cause of death in rich people?
Fear of Bernie Sanders.
Mutiny. Taking the case is Benoit Blanc, a detective who could really use a fidget spinner.
Yeah.
Played by an actor who could really use a dialect coach.
Whoa, okay. We got footprints here.
He's more southern than a Confederate flag soaked in deep-fried mint juleps.
Yeah, that is hooey. Shut up with that Kentucky Fried Foghorn Leghorn drawl.
But don't underestimate this simple country detective, because he's so good, he doesn't know who's paying him.
Who hired you? I do not know.
Doesn't interview key witnesses for days.
I think you have something you want to tell me. I'm in no rush.
And lets the main suspect almost die in his care.
Going left.
Twice. He'll need all the help he can get from Marta Carrera, a nurse with a rare form of bulimia.
Just a thought.
Overlooked performance.
A condition that any good detective could use to crack the case in 30 seconds. But this half-cocked Sherlock can't even smell the lies right in front of him.
You're not much of a detective, are you?
You know, I'll say for a film called Knives Out, this detective here is about as sharp as a bowling ball. So if you love A-listers, A-holes, and Agatha Christie, ride along with this silly fun, not really a mystery, where everyone's a red herring, and the most famous guy helped do it in the end. Really, the only question you have is how one housekeeper kept an entire mansion full of knickknacks, secret passages, and hidden piles of nurse puke clean. Yet more plot holes from Ruin Johnson. Hashtag remake Knives Out with more puke cleanup scenes. Starring Better Call Drawl.
Nice. Nice.
Spewing this. That is America's asshole. Files from the old French road. Trash Bridges. Michael Caine. Inheritary. 13 Reasons Why You're Out of the Will. Frank Oz, the Great and Powerful.
Yeah.
Get out! Get out! Old Deuteronomy. And Kevin Spacey. The Last P.I.
Nice. They're
If
making a
Harlan
sequel.
wanted to kill himself while clearing Marta of any suspicion, why didn't he do it in front of anyone else in a house full of people? We wasted a real lawyer's time defending movie jokers and paid a
Well, I
real
heard about this.
psychologist to analyze Harley Quinn in our series Fandom IRL. Click here to see what happens when your favorite heroes stop being polite and start getting real.
Nice.
Wait, am I allowed to say that? Having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card.
Cool.
That's a good message.
Great job again, team. I thought this Honest trailer was like a really good SNL sketch. Really funny in the beginning. It's got a great middle joke there and a good final jokes at the end too. America's ass.
That was pretty inspiring, I gotta say.
That was really funny.
I want to know who penned that joke in the commentary after this.
I actually think their opening joke is rather profound. Because there was like some political talk in the film itself, but the movie never really felt like it was about politics to me. And when they pointed out, you act like an entitled dick, women and minorities will take away your stuff. The way the movie wraps up and ends, is that an actual thing that Rian Johnson was going for to comment on and to some degree? Or is that the way entitled rich white people will perceive this ending?
Yeah. Is it like a Rorschach test? I don't know, because that's the thing, is you watch it the first time and you're so wrapped in like, how is this gonna go down? What details do I need to look out for? And I feel like on a second go around, you could probably then go, okay, what does this character represent? Who's that character? Chris Evans has to represent the, sort of spoiled, entitled, man-child, rich kid, trust fund kid.
Well, they all do.
Yeah, in their own way. But yeah, like the one who's trying to inherit the earth right now.
I gotta say, Ana de Armas was a completely overlooked performance. I thought she was incredible, and she's the real lead of the movie. Daniel Craig's the real male lead, but the star of the film is really her.
Oh yeah, it's her problem deep down, at least in the plot.
And she's so good. They did bring up some good little nitpicks here, I thought. Why didn't Christopher Plummer off himself in front of other people? That way there was no questions about it.
Or at least when she was like long gone.
Yeah.
Not in the room, not in any position to vomit the answer for anybody.
A big part of why I thought this movie was brilliant was a subversion of the whodunit. There are some people I've met who actually have a major gripe with the handling of that. Because the way the trailer sets you up is the expectation of a whodunit. And then early on in the film, they show you, oh, he did just kill himself.
They show you the exact situation pretty much right off the bat. It's like making a negative of a whodunit, where it's like the only part you're certain about is who, what, and where, and then all the rest is a mystery around it.
Yeah, and I thought that was great, because by the time you do get to the end, I feel like some people are able to predict that it was Chris Evans who did do it. I don't know anyone who was able to really pinpoint how he did it.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
I feel like Chris Evans was involved. Somehow he's responsible. Maybe he's the one who paid, sure. But it's a whole other subject to be like, no, he definitely switched the bottles around and did this and that, Now, like that, I don't know anyone who actually went that far into figuring it out.
And you do have a bunch of other, like they said, red herrings, basically. You have a whole bunch of reasons to suspect a lot of other people, so I feel like there's a lot of that mental math that can get in the way, basically. A lot of doubt that can keep up through that. It's funny, I guess I'd have to go back through the film, with Benoit Blanc especially not being a very good detective. I want to go back through the film and see, if that's like truly the point of his character, is just to be sort of ineffectual and yet somehow solving this mystery, because there are aspects of like, why did he wait to talk to this person? That felt maybe a little nitpicky in this trailer, but then again, looking back, maybe I am being a little too forgiving or something like that,
Well, I think honest trailers, they have to nitpick. They got to get their jokes in there.
They do. They do. Take a stab.
Like, I listen to the reviews of the Screen Junkies team. I can tell when they're poking fun at stuff, as opposed to this is a real issue. I think Dan Merle would have brought it up in his review as one of the head writers of Honest Trailers. I think he would have definitely brought up. He praised the hell out of Daniel Craig's performance. If he really had an issue with the character, I think he would have brought it up and been like, he's not as smart as the movie wants you to think he is. Out of context, it's easy to go, he almost let Ana de Armas die a couple of times. So when you slice it together like this, it's really funny and it's true. But there's a whole other movie surrounding those moments.
Supports those moments. Yeah, for sure.
Apparently there is a sequel that's been greenlit for this, but I think it's just a different adventure for Daniel Craig's character.
That's what Rian Johnson said. Yeah, nobody else is returning except Benoit Blanc.
You see, to me, that's the exact expectation I would have for a Knives Out sequel. So Rian Johnson, you're not doing your job.
That's right, you gotta bring it back to the same family. Now there's another murder.
Take Daniel Craig out of it.
Turns out he did it, but he's also dead now.
Subvert expectations.
There's no way to
by
solve
fulfilling our expectations. Yeah.
That's right. As long as they're not exactly what it came before, it's still a subversion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We know how to properly do this.
We know how to subvert. We can subvert things.
Guys, what'd you think of Knives Out? The cast in this film, brilliant. Everyone's amazing in it. I love the way it's shot. It's colorful, edited.
It's just like the filmmaking is really exciting in that movie.
And what's cool is that even though it is inspired by Agatha Christie-like novels, those whodunits from back then, it's still an original film. It made over $100 million at the box office.
I know!
And you don't really see that as often anymore.
No, and I'm surprised just because of the ire. Like, Rian Johnson's name has become a lot higher profile because of the ire that followed The Last Jedi. So the fact that people really turned out for this, like, really makes me oddly happy.
He just had to find that middle ground. He had those, like, smaller films, like Brick and Looper.
Yeah.
And
Brothers Bloom.
then he jumped straight to Star Wars.
Yeah.
And now he's in the middle with Knives Out. And this is the right ground for the guy.
Right, maybe he can keep that shrinking middle budget film alive.
All right, guys. Well, what'd you think of Knives Out? Leave your thoughts down below. Subscribe to Screen Junkies if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to Real Rejects. Click on notification bell. Last but not least, let's end this with a... Eric Horstman. I wrote you a poem. A message from Eric can be quite frantic, maybe a cynic, but when I meet him in public, I will give him a kiss wearing lipstick. We'll ride in the night in a chariot as he books us a suite at the Marriott. I get what I did there because you worked. Yep. Fights for the rights of the animals. I receive light from this white knight, reasons for my arousals. The sadistic humor of a henchman. His last name, be it Horstman. Love his stories from being a freshman. Because he told me stories of being a... Yep. The man filled with virtue got a real reject's tattoo. Now we're imprinted. Never ever have to say, I bid you adieu. And he's gay.
He's gay, yeah.
Like super gay.
The gayest.